What's good? This is Trey, and the topic of this video is how to become seductive to women. And this is a good topic because if you become seductive, because women want to be seduced, right? That's why this is a good topic. Women want to be seduced. They don't want to be hitted on, catcalled, treated, all these like easy, like quick. How do I get her quick? Is if you want to seduce a woman, that's a long-term process, right? That is something that takes time, and you have to actually enjoy the process of seduction, right? You have to enjoy milking the moment, milking the experience. Like you have to enjoy the challenge, right? If you want to be an effective seducer, you can't be this, how do I get it now? How do I get it fast? How do I get it? You know what I mean? Because that's not what seduction is, right? Sometimes you can seduce a woman very quickly, but like if you set your eyes on a woman and she's not making shit easy, it's gonna be a long-term process, right? Or maybe she already has somebody who she's sort of talking to or whatever. You know what I mean? She might be in some situation. So you can't just go in and think you're just gonna get her right away unless like you really have the exact value she's looking for, whatever. A lot of game and all that shit. But a lot of times it's gonna be a process. You know what I mean? So how do you become seductive? Right? I'm gonna focus on one thing that you can do to become very seductive, right? And basically it's spending a lot of time around women, but with the understanding that you want to become more seductive. So how do you do that? You spend time around women and get to understand them, right? Instead of focusing so much on what you want and what you need from a woman and I want this and how can I figure out what do women really want? You spend a lot of time with them, right? And get real close with them. Don't even focus on trying to have sex with them or any of that shit. Just focus on, I want to get to know women. I want to get around them. I want to spend time with them. I want to observe them so you could really understand them, right? Another way to do it, is understanding female psychology, doing your research, doing your studies, right? But a lot of it, if you really want to understand shit, you have to actually be around women. You have to get around women. You have to observe them. You have to see what they do, how they act, what they say. Mostly you want to pay attention to what they do, right? Because women will say certain things and it can mislead you, right? Because women can be very indirect in their communication. But what you want to pay attention to is what they respond to, what they do. Even when they say one thing and they move a certain way, pay attention to that, right? Like if she says this, but then you see her move in the opposite direction, you look at that, you're like, wait, what happened there? And you start to understand, start to observe and start to understand. And then when it's time for you to go and get a woman, you have all this understanding. You don't go try to get a woman with your own like false beliefs and assumptions and shit. You actually have the real experience with women and you know what they respond to. So when she starts saying bullshit or whatever, it's bullshit because you done seen what you needed to see by having these experiences with women, spending time with women. So it's like you wanna be knowledgeable when it comes to women. Like you don't want to be like, I don't know. I don't know. Like when it comes to women, like there's just a bunch of shit you don't know. You want to know some shit, right? If you want to seduce someone, it's a man or a woman or anything, you have to understand it. An animal, anything. You can seduce anyone if you understand them, right? Even you want to get to the point, if you're really about this, get to the point where you understand them better than they understand themselves. Because some people don't even take the time to understand themselves. They're just living, they're just doing a bunch of shit, but they don't sit down and really get to understand themselves. They don't even notice some of the shit they doing. But you go in and you start to understand them and you start to, you know what I mean? And then you're able to seduce. You're able to create certain effects because you've seen certain patterns in their behavior. You've seen things that they respond to, what triggers them, what repels them, what attracts them. You get to see all that shit. But you have to spend time with women. So like if you a guy who is like in the friend zone and shit, you can take that, you can make that like your advantage, right? You could benefit from that if you start looking at it. You know what, man? Let me see if I can learn some shit from this friend, being in this friend zone. Like she's telling me a lot of shit. I'm hearing her stories. I'm getting to experience different shit with her. Let me see what I can learn. And then you learn all this shit. You may be able to apply it to her at some point, right? As you start, because you as a man, you should always be bringing up your values. So if you really study, you know, how she moves, how she acts, what attracts her, what seduces, you know, all that shit, and you're bringing up your value, then you can sort of start to, instead of just like doing some stupid shit and just coming out and saying, hey, I just want you to know I had feelings for you this whole time. Instead of doing that, you create this experience for her that she goes through, and you're basically seducing her. And then when she gets to the end, she realizes, whoa, why am I not with him? Because you done created all these effects, you done created all these feelings, instead of like coming out and just saying, hey, this is what I want, right? That's actually pretty selfish to just come out and say, hey, this is what I want, without like giving that person experience, because you're not really showing that you care about them, because you're basically saying you're willing to ruin the relationship just because of what you want, without even finding out what she wants, right? Or what she needs. So you, as a man, you want to get really good at understanding women, understanding female psychology, understanding what women respond to, and not getting out of your bullshit, out of your false understanding, false assumptions that's holding you back from getting the results you want. All right. So if you are struggling with women in your dating life, you're not getting the results you want, you're not attracting the women you want, you're not going on dates or whatever, send me a message. Let's see what we can do to change your condition, right? So you can start getting the results you want. All right. Hit me up. See you in the next video. Peace.